What is your path to Dharma?
Okay.
We're back. I'm going to burn a little bit of sage because I have it here. And for all of those listening, if this makes the episode, let's just all breathe out one thing that no longer serves us and then open our mind to Krishna, ground in the blessings and consciousness of Krishna. Before we open up the beautiful Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, welcome back, Path to Dharma podcast. I'm Shay. This is my beautiful mother, Shannon.
Welcome, welcome. So happy to have you here again. If you're joining us, new, welcome. We are reading the Srimad Bhagavatam and we're pretty new to it. And we don't really read the purport, and we watch the comments, and we listen to each other and the universe, and we go to Krishna, and we pray, and we feel it in our heart and soul. And it's transformational, and I love it. I'm obsessed with
We love you,
it.
Krishna. We love you, Krishna.
We love you so much, Krishna. I'm obsessed with him.
So tonight we are Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, third canto, part 2, chapter 26.
26.
Does that seem right?
Yes. Ow, ow.
Okay.
Wait, I want to, before one more thing, I want to call out my beautiful earrings that I got for Krishna's birthday. Happy birthday, Krishna.
Happy birthday, Krishna.
That was actually yesterday. I sang to him, and like
August
listened
26th.
to like music all day and just spent day and night just like singing to him. I fell asleep with his like mantra in my head, and I woke up with it. It was beautiful.
I love you, Krishna.
Love you so much, Krishna. Okay.
I love you. Are Krishna's #1 fan with that hat.
I love it. I literally love him so much. And I watched the whole story of his birth, and like Vasudeva, like carrying him across the river, and the snake is like covering him. It's good.
I love
so
it.
Good.
I love it. And I love
Baby
it when
Krishna,
you share.
and Baby Krishna is everything.
Everything to me. Baby Krishna is everything to me. Absolutely everything.
So sweet. It's just
opening up his mouth to see the universe inside. That's the
right.
one.
I found this mantra channel that was just doing nothing but like singing like Krishna mantras all day long, like day and night, just the whole time.
What's it called? Do you know? Let's shout them out.
I don't know. I'll have to look.
We'll
and
put them in the.
Put it in
Can we put them in
I'll put it in there because I listen to it all the time. They do a bunch of beautiful music and mantras and stuff. And they had this one where they were singing like about baby Krishna, and they had like this baby laughter in the back. It was so sweet. I was crying because I love baby Krishna.
We should shout out Beer Biceps too while we're at it.
Yes.
And link him down below.
Beautiful episode. I learned so much from it. I loved that episode. I don't know if you got a chance to watch all of it, Shay, but
no, I didn't. I'm actually going to listen to it after this, as I have a couple of things to do.
I loved it.
And what else is our announcements? Krishna Fan Club is when?
Is it this weekend? No, because you have guests. So we actually will do it the next weekend.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So second weekend in September, find us live 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
I think so. I think that's what we were going
7:30. Look for the thumbnail. We'll try to put something out, and come join us live to talk about Krishna and all things Krishna and be in community together. Yay.
What else? Otherwise, let's do some beautiful obeisances and get into the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam study.
Before reciting the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, which is our very means of conquest, one must first offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead Narayan, unto Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. By regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam, and by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact.
I accept, Krishna. I accept. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. And Spruce comes as I finish the obeisances. He's here with us.
Always.
Listening to the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam.
Always. Didn't we discuss one time before about if your dog is hearing the whole Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, they're coming back next time as a human?
Yeah.
We just discussed this.
Yes. I love it. And let's do this. Chapter 26, text 1. Do you want to? You go ahead and start.
Okay. Fundamental principles of material nature. This sounds good.
Sounds really good.
Okay. This is Kapila talking. The
Mhm.
personality of Godhead. Kapila,
Oh wait,
continue.
pause.
Yes.
What happened at the end of the last chapter? The glories of devotional service.
Yeah. Remember his mom was asking him. He was talking to his mom.
Okay, Kapila was talking to.
Yeah. His
And
mother.
what was her name?
Is this Devahūti?
Yes. Devahūti is
Okay.
Kapila's mother,
Yes.
right?
Okay. So he's talking to Devahūti and she's like, which, you know, just thinking about what would you even say if you knew you got to give birth to an incarnation of Vishnu, which she knew she was going to? Like, what
Right.
would you even say? Of course, you'd be like, tell me everything.
That
Right.
was a really good chapter. I'm excited for this one.
Right. So he
The cool thing,
continues.
I love that like we're getting these different incarnations coming down and telling us about the fundamental principles
Yeah,
of material nature. I feel like this is a reoccurring pattern.
it is. It definitely is.
Okay. Sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
Okay. Text 1. The personality of Godhead Kapila continued. My dear mother, now I shall describe unto you the different categories of the absolute truth, knowing which any person can be released from the influence of the modes of material nature.
Whoa. Are you ready for that? You
Nice.
ready
I
to
love it. Do
you ready
tell,
to be released?
Kapila. Do tell. I'm all ears.
Knowledge is the ultimate perfection of self-realization. I shall explain that knowledge unto you by which the knots of attachment to the material world are cut.
Let's go, Kapila. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is the Supreme Soul, and he has no beginning. He is transcendental to the material modes of nature and beyond the existence of this material world. He is perceivable everywhere because he is self-effulgent, and by his self-effulgent luster, the entire creation is maintained.
Hey, what's effulgent exactly mean?
Self-effulgent means like he has his own power. He is his own power
Okay.
source, I
Okay.
believe. Someone please correct me if I'm not catching that, but I think that's what he means. I think that's
Okay.
what it means.
Text 4. As his pastime, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the greatest of the great, accepted the subtle material energy, which is invested with 3 material modes of nature and which is related with Vishnu.
Divided into varieties by her threefold modes, material nature creates the forms of the living entities, and the living entities, seeing this, are illusioned by the knowledge covering feature of the illusory energy.
Okay, so sometimes it helps me to recap out loud.
Right? It's like what was that? Okay.
So Mother Nature has
Yes.
divided
Three molds, right?
three modes, which we know, right? Is that
I think we will talk about them. So
okay, but is that tamas, rajas, and sattva? Or
maybe
am I thinking wrong?
maybe it is. You might be
Okay.
right. You might be totally right.
So
Seeing this are illusioned by the knowledge covering feature of the illusory energy.
So material nature creates the forms of the living entities, and the living entities, seeing this, are illusioned by the knowledge covering feature of the illusion.
Even the illusion is in the illusion?
That's a lot to.
Yikes.
That's a spider.
That's
like a
deep.
spider web in
Okay.
my brain.
All right. Someone help us out. If you have
Deep
a
breath.
comment on this, please.
I think I understand the essence of it, but I
think
should
so
go back and
too.
like draw something for that or something. Text 6.
Okay, let's keep going.
Yeah. Because of his forgetfulness, the transcendental living entity accepts the influence of material energy as his field of activities, and thus actuated, he wrongingly applies the activities to himself.
Material consciousness is the cause of one's conditional life, in which conditions are enforced upon the living.
Wait, you got to start over already. This is so much. I feel like this is so much information suddenly.
Okay, wait.
This is like, I see right now, right in this exact moment, how people can read only just one text and be like, wait,
right.
Oh my gosh.
Seriously, Kapila's laying
this
down
is
like
nothing,
bloom.
and
knowledge.
this is nothing new. This is everything we know already, but for some reason
Okay.
it's hitting me differently right now.
Okay, let's go back to text 6.
Okay.
Because of his forgetfulness, the transcendental living entity accepts the influence of material nature as his field of activities. Okay. So the
Mhm.
transcendental living entity is in the Maya. It's in the illusion. He's in the illusion. So he
Yeah.
accepts that
Yep.
material energy as where the field of where it's like the matrix. Okay.
Yes, yes, yes.
And thus actuated, he wrongly applies the activities to himself. That's the whole thing where
He
Krishna
says
talks
this is
about
all
it's
me.
like, it's
Yeah.
me, it's mine, I did it, I am
Yep.
it, I'm it. Okay.
Text 7.
So material consciousness is the cause of one's conditional life.
Material consciousness is the cause of one's conditional life.
Right. So we just heard about what material consciousness is, right?
Right. Yeah.
In which conditions are enforced upon the living entity by the material energy. Sure. It's like
Yes.
the laws of nature, gravity,
Yes.
etc.
Yeah. Mhm.
Although the spirit soul does not do anything and is transcendental to such activities, he is thus affected by conditional life. Okay, so you
Sure.
take birth, you take the human body, you suddenly the laws of physics and all the things in the illusion now hit you. You're in the game, you're in the matrix, and you
And
are
you
in the rules
wrongingly
of it.
say this is me. You
Yeah, you
wrongingly
think it's
say,
you. We were just talking about having like
uh-huh.
kind of like tough couple weeks, just like real deep in our human characters, where it's like you
Mhm.
forget you're divine. It's not
Yeah.
that I forgot about Krishna that whole time. I was like
I
crying to
know.
Krishna my whole time. Like we talked
Yeah.
about this. We're like,
Yes.
when
I
can I
know.
come out? You know,
Yeah.
but like it's more ugh, how do I even say?
Well,
Help
it's
me.
because it's the Maya. It's the
Yeah,
Maya. We get disillusioned, and that's
yeah.
what it is. Because we
Literally
identify with our
disillusion. Right.
yes. We literally identify with our activities and think they're us, and
Yeah.
we even know it's not.
We
Okay,
even
that's how
know it is
no.
frustrating to even know.
True.
To even know and
Yeah.
be like, ah, I'm in it today. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. This
Yeah.
seems real. Because even if this is an illusion, I still got to be here.
Right.
I still got to live here.
Right.
I still got to do my laundry and like do the things I have to do
Well,
in
the
life just to
material
live.
consciousness is the cause of one's conditional life. It's all the conditions that are just
Yeah.
set by material
Right.
consciousness.
Yes. Okay. All right. All right. Let's go.
That's why you become detached,
It is.
you
Okay.
know? Okay. That was a great
Text date.
tangent.
Sorry.
That really connected a lot for me. That was
Yeah. I
good.
like it. I like it. Okay. Text date.
The cause of the conditioned soul's material body and senses, and the senses presiding deities, the demigods, is the material nature. I almost have to read that again. I'm sorry. I'm
It's
sorry. I
like,
don't know. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
eh.
The cause of the conditioned soul's material body and senses, and the senses presiding deities, the demigods, is the material nature. Okay, so our body and the senses is material nature.
Okay, keep
This is
going.
understood by learned men. The
Sure.
feelings of happiness and distress of the soul, who is transcendental by nature, are caused by the spirit soul himself.
It's true. It's true. It's the whole thing on like you get attached, you suffer. Who would have
Mm-hmm.
explained
Mm-hmm. I'll try not to
as
interrupt.
well? Yes. Devahūti said, okay, so back to her. We were right.
Mm-hmm.
Devahūti for sure.
Yep.
O Supreme Personality of Godhead, kindly explain the characteristics of the Supreme Person and his energies. For both of these are the causes of this manifest and unmanifest creation. Good question, Devotee.
Good one. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, the unmanifested eternal combination of the three modes is the cause of the manifest state and is called pradhana. It is called Prakṛti when in the manifested stage of existence.
Okay. It's like I'm like filtering back in my mind of everything we previously read
Yeah,
to put some of this in context because it is really deep what he's talking about and how he's
it's very
explaining
deep.
it to her.
Yeah.
Um, I can imagine if we just day one opened up to this and was like trying to read it, it seems really like beyond. And even
I'm getting
having
like
read,
I'm like getting like a rush of energy in my body reading this right this second. This has
right,
happened a few other times where I
I'm
felt like an
sweating.
over. Yeah, yeah. Like I feel so hot right now
Right. The
with this.
aggregate, right, the aggregate elements, namely the five gross elements, the five subtle elements, the four internal senses, the five senses for gathering knowledge, and the five outward organs of action are known as the pradhana. Okay, the aggregate elements. And then remember the one back in Canto 2, I feel like everything was broke down, all these crazy numbers of things, they broke it all down. It's
Yes.
like,
Yes. Yeah.
this is what I'm seeing here. Okay. Anyway.
Yes. Yes. There are 5 gross elements, namely earth, water, fire, air, and ether. There are also 5 subtle elements:
Yeah.
smell, taste, color, touch, and sound.
Yes. The
So gross
senses.
elements, subtle.
Mm-hmm. The senses for acquiring knowledge and the organs for action number 10, namely the auditory sense, the sense of taste, the tactile sense, the sense of sight, the sense of smell, the active organ for speaking, the active organs for working, and those for traveling, generating, and evacuating.
So
That's
all
like,
the things.
that's interesting because usually it's like we always say we have the 6 senses,
Yeah.
and here we see 10.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. I know. I need to be pushed along right now.
Okay.
Like,
Okay.
keep
Okay.
going.
Okay. Okay.
The internal, subtle senses are experienced as having 4 aspects in the shape of mind, intelligence, ego, and contaminated consciousness. Distinctions between them can be made only by different functions, since they represent different characteristics.
Okay. Please tell us. All these are considered the qualified Brahman. The mixing element, which is known as time, is counted as the 25th element. I am obsessed with this right now.
Wow.
What?
The mixing element.
The mixing element, which is known as time, is counted as the
Let's keep going
25th
because this is about to
element.
get good. This is good.
Okay, go, go, go.
The influence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is felt in the time factor, which causes fear of death due to the false ego of the deluded soul who has contacted material nature.
Yes.
It's time.
Yep. It's true.
Yeah.
My dear mother, the time factor, as I have explained, is the supreme personality of Godhead from whom the creation begins as a result of the agitation of the neutral, unmanifested nature. Okay, wait. As I've explained, the time factor from whom creation begins as a result of the agitation of the neutral, unmanifested nature. Okay, it doesn't exist, nothing exists, unmanifested. You agitate it like the stirring of the ocean, like the causal ocean.
And I'm just like reading the purport real quick. It says,
Yeah.
the Lord says that when the unmanifested material nature is agitated by the glance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, it begins to manifest itself in different ways. So
Yeah.
it's his literal glance.
Right.
Like, that's the glance. And
Yeah.
it's that quick agitation that creates all this. That is
Yeah.
the time factor. Holy shit.
Yeah, that's amazing. Okay. By
Text 18.
exhibiting his potencies, the supreme personality of Godhead adjusts all these different elements, himself, keeping himself within as the super soul and without as time. Okay.
After the Supreme Personality of Godhead impregnates material nature with his internal potency, material nature delivers the sum total of the cosmic intelligence, which is known as Hiranmaya. This takes place in material nature when she is agitated by the destinations of the conditioned souls.
Okay. Thus, after manifesting variegatedness, the effulgent Mahat-tattva, which contains all the universes within itself, which is the root of all cosmic manifestations, and which is not destroyed at the time of annihilation, swallows the darkness that covered the effulgence at the time of dissolution.
Whoa.
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 Whoa, whoa,
Whoa.
whoa. Okay.
So it's the Mahat-tattva, which contains all the universes within itself.
Wow. Okay. So after like the creation, the sustaining, the dissolution of the universe, it it all gets encompassed by, absorbed by,
Yeah.
swallowed by
Swallowed by.
the Mahat-tattva.
Yes.
It's like we need a mind. I need like a mind blow like emoji, just
That's gonna be our
massively, just like
that
going off
that
right
should
now.
be, yeah, that's gonna be our thumbnail.
What?
Text 21. The mode of goodness, which is the clear, sober status of understanding the personality of Godhead, and which is generally called Vasudeva or consciousness, becomes manifest in the Mahat-tattva.
Okay. After the manifestation of the Mahat-tattva, these features appear simultaneously, as water in its natural state before coming in contact with earth is clear, sweet, and unruffled. So the characteristic traits of pure consciousness are complete serenity, clarity, and freedom from distraction. Hey, so like when you're in your pure consciousness, that's when you're floating around Vaikuntha, just totally in
You're feeling
complete,
serene,
just
clear,
bliss is probably not
free.
even the right word. It's not even a good enough word for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
The material ego springs up from the Mahat-tattva, which evolved from the Lord's own energy. The material ego is endowed predominantly with active power of three kinds: good, passionate, and ignorant. It is from these three types of material ego that the mind, the senses of perception, the organs of action, and the gross elements evolve.
Yeah.
Okay, yes. This was explained to us before too in a
Yes.
different way.
Yes. The threefold
Mhm.
Ahaṅkāra, the source of the gross elements, the senses of the mind, is identical with them because it is their cause. It is known by the name Sankarsana, who is directly Lord Ananta with 1,000 heads. Isn't that the snake?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
This false ego is categorized as the doer, as an instrument, and as an effect.
Right.
It is further characterized as serene, active, or dull according to how it is influenced by the modes of goodness, passion, and ignorance.
From the false ego of goodness, another transformation takes place. From this evolves the mind, whose thoughts and reflections give rise to desire. Yep.
Sounds right.
Yep.
The mind of the living entity is known by the name of Lord Aniruddha, the supreme ruler of the senses. He possesses a bluish-black form resembling a lotus flower growing in the autumn. He is found slowly by the yogis.
Whoa.
Oh, my goodness.
Something about that bluish black form. We've talked about this
Yeah,
before. Like, is Krishna blue? Is he black? What is the significance of the colors? What is it?
right.
Text 29. By transformation of the false ego in passion, intelligence takes birth, O virtuous lady. The functions of intelligence are to help in ascertaining the nature of objects when they come into view and to help the senses.
Sure.
Sure, like we got to live. It's like
Right.
so we can eat and live and
Yeah,
survive.
yeah. Doubt, misapprehension, correct apprehension, memory, and sleep, as determined by their different functions, are said to be the distinct characteristics of intelligence. I kind of messed that up.
That's really interesting, though.
Yeah.
That's what's said to be the distinct characteristics of intelligence.
Doubt, misapprehension, correct apprehension, memory, and sleep, as determined by their different functions, are said to be the distinct characteristics of intelligence.
Interesting. That's super interesting.
Well, you have to have all those things, right? I guess.
Yeah.
And yeah. But that isn't. Wow, that's
Hmm.
interesting.
Okay. Text 31. Egoism in the mode of passion produces two kinds of senses: the senses for acquiring knowledge and the senses of action. The senses of action depend on the vital energy, and the senses for acquiring knowledge depend on intelligence. Okay. Okay, we're ready for egoism in the mode of passion produces two kinds of senses: the senses for acquiring knowledge and the senses of action. You're thinking or you're doing it.
Yeah.
The senses of action depend on your energy. How much energy do you have? The senses for
Sure.
acquiring knowledge depend on your intelligence.
How
Okay.
intelligent are you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Or how much energy. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep. Yep.
When egoism and ignorance is agitated by the sex energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the subtle element sound is manifested, and from sound comes the ethereal sky and the sense of hearing.
Persons who are learned and who have true knowledge define sound as that which conveys the idea of an object, indicates the presence of a speaker screened from our view, and constitutes the subtle form of ether. Okay, wait, I definitely need
Wow.
to read that again. Wait. Okay. Persons who are learned and who have true knowledge define sound as that which conveys the idea of an object. Okay. Indicates the presence of a speaker screened from our view and constitutes the subtle form of ether.
Yeah,
Okay.
just slightly reading the purport a little bit.
Yeah.
Like it says, as soon as we hear of speaking, there must be a speaker. Without a speaker, there is no question of hearing.
Okay.
This is deep.
Yeah, this is deep. This is deep.
The activities and characteristics of the ethereal element can be observed as accommodation for the room for the external and internal existences of all living entities, namely the field of activities of the vital air, the senses, and the mind. Can you reread that one real quick?
The activities and characteristics of the ethereal element can be observed as accommodation for the room of the external and internal existences of all living entities. Okay, so basically, that's the matrix he's talking about right there. Accommodation for the room of external and internal existences of all living entities. It's like that's
Yeah.
the ethereal element, namely the field of activities of vital air and the senses of the mind. Okay, we're probably going to learn more in a second here. From ethereal existence, which evolves from sound, the next transformation takes place under the impulse of time. And thus, the subtle element touch and thence the air and sense of touch become prominent. I mean, this is kind of reminding me of what we read in Canto 2, where it was the
Yeah, it
creation of
is.
everything. And it was like the
Yeah.
sound came, and then it was like the
Yep.
different parts of the body of the
Yep.
gigantic
Yeah.
form or whatever were like manifesting.
Softness and hardness and cold and heat are the distinguishing attributes of touch, which is characterized as a subtle form of air.
Maybe this is what it's talking about. Sometimes when I'm in meditation and you kind of like slightly detach from your human body and you're just like, you hear and feel, but you're detached from it. So you
Yeah.
know that that's not you for a second there. And it's almost
Yeah.
like the things that the input from the universe, that's what he's talking about. You're
All these
distinguishing it as touch. The universe is sending it to you as this particular element of material nature. And
Yeah.
you're just interpreting it as
Yeah.
touch
Yeah. Or hard or
or
cold.
soft or cold or
Yeah.
whatever. That's the input. Like that's your computer self.
Right.
Like computing,
Yeah.
this is cold.
When
This is
really this
hot.
is just air right here.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
an element of air.
Maybe we have this 100% wrong. We do sometimes, y'all. So please.
Sometimes we do. Yeah, sometimes we do.
Sometimes. You guys are so patient. You give us the best answers ever. Yeah,
do.
you're right a lot. Okay. Where are we?
Text
37.
37, go ahead.
The action of the air is exhibited in movements, mixing, allowing it's like I've already lost it.
I know. Yeah. This is so much.
Okay, definitely. Excuse me.
Bless you.
I had to cough all that out. It's like I don't even know. I had to cough it out.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. The action of air, maybe my body's trying to exhibit, is exhibited in movements, mixing, allowing approach to the objects of sound and other sense perceptions, and providing for the proper functioning of all other senses.
Makes sense. Air is holding it. You know, it's
Easy,
like
easy.
Yeah, I can see that.
Ayurveda. Okay, I
Yes,
just
exactly.
screamed that out. Sorry. Because when I turned the page, I love the universe right now. I don't have anything to drink in here. Sorry.
Oh yeah, you need one.
Okay.
But yes, Ayurveda, I see at the top of that page right there.
Right.
Yes, this is explaining Ayurveda and how it breaks down your dosha and that all the elements actually create everything.
Okay. All right.
And everything has, yeah, okay. By
Okay.
interactions of the air and the sensation of touch, one receives different forms according to destiny. I love
Okay.
that. I
Yeah.
love
Okay.
that vision.
Yeah.
So by the interactions of the air and the senses of touch, one receives a different form according to destiny.
Mhm.
By evolution of such forms, there is fire, and the eyes see different forms and colors.
Ah, my dear mother, the characteristics of form are understood by dimension, quality, and individuality. The form of fire is appreciated by its effulgence. Yeah.
Fire is appreciated by its light and by its ability to cook, to digest, to destroy cold, to evaporate, and to give rise to hunger, thirst, eating, and drinking. Wow.
Well said, Kapila.
Yeah. 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 When you break it down like that.
Yeah. By the interaction of fire and the visual sensation, the subtle element taste
Sure.
evolves under a superior arrangement. From taste, water is produced, and the tongue, which perceives taste, is also manifested.
Sure.
Sure.
Although originally one, taste became manifold as astringent,
Okay.
sweet, bitter, pungent, sour, and salty due to contact with other substances. And
Now it went.
that's Ayurveda too. They pay attention to all of those different.
Okay. I love it. Oh, wow.
Uh,
I love this next paragraph
tell
already.
me.
The characteristics of water are exhibited by its moistening other substances, coagulating various mixtures, causing satisfaction, maintaining life, softening things, driving away heat, incessantly supplying itself to reservoirs of water, and refreshing by slaking thirst.
We love you, water. We love you,
Ode to
fire.
water. Ode to water. I
Yeah,
love that because Shay is slightly obsessed with water and like
I
where she
am.
gets her water. So like I love this. That's how the water does. I love how causing satisfaction was like right there in the middle of
And
that
it's so
paragraph.
true. Getting in a hot bath. Are you kidding me?
Amazing.
A
A
hot
sauna.
spring, even better. Yes,
Yes,
exactly.
everything. Beautiful.
Due to the interaction of water with the taste perception, the subtle element odor evolves under
Sure.
superior arrangement. So, due to the interaction of water and taste, yeah, that makes
Yep.
sense.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Odor.
Yep.
Thence, the earth and the olfactory sense, by which we can variously experience the aroma of the earth, became manifest.
Okay. The characteristics of the functions of Earth can be perceived by modeling forms of the Supreme Brahman, by constructing places of residence,
Wait, you
by
skipped one.
ah, okay, odor. Although one becomes many as
This is what
mixed.
I was laughing at.
Oh, okay. Odor, although one becomes many as mixed, offensive, fragrant, mild, strong, acidic, and so on, according to the proportions of associated substances. That's so true.
It
It's so
is.
true. Very nice.
The characteristics of the functions of earth can be perceived by modeling forms of the supreme Brahman, by
Mhm.
constructing places of residence, by preparing pots to contain water, etc. In other words, the earth is the place of sustenance for all elements.
True, true.
Yep.
The sense whose object of perception is sound, excuse me, is called the auditory sense, and that whose object of perception is touch is called the tactile sense.
hmm
Mhm.
The sense whose object of perception is form, the distinctive characteristic of fire, is the sense of sight. The sense whose object of perception is taste, the distinctive characteristic of water, is known as the sense of taste. Finally, the sense whose object of perception is odor, the distinctive characteristic of earth, is called the sense of smell.
Since the cause exists in its effect as well, the characteristics of the former are observed in the latter. That is why the peculiarities of all the elements exist in the earth alone.
Wow. Wow. Okay.
Okay, okay.
When
Okay.
all these elements are unmixed, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the origin of creation, along with time, work, and the
Mhm.
qualities of the modes of material nature, entered into the universe with the total material energy in 7 divisions.
From these 7 principles, roused into activity and united by the presence of the Lord, an unintelligent egg arose, from which appeared the celebrated cosmic being. Okay. Are you-
What? I'm not frozen,
okay.
no.
Like,
The
that's my actual.
yeah.
Okay. An unintelligent egg arose, from which appeared the celebrated cosmic being. Okay. Well, I mean, this is how beings are created? You do get
Let's
a
hear. Let's
egg.
hear. Yeah.
I mean,
This universal egg, or the universe in the shape of an egg, is
okay.
called the manifestation of material energy. Its layer of water, air, fire, sky, ego, and Mahat-tattva increase in thickness one after another. Each layer is in 10 times bigger than the previous one, and the final outside layer is covered by pradhana. Within this egg is the universal form of Lord Hari, of whose body the 14 planetary systems are part.
Wow. Okay. There's got to be a painting of this.
A picture of that, yeah, for sure.
I need a picture of this. Okay.
Yeah.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Virat Purusa, situated himself in that golden egg, which was lying on the water, and he divided it into many departments.
Wow. So he's dividing the egg into many departments
Okay.
now. When you find a picture of that, send it to me, okay?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
First of all, a mouth appeared in him, and then came forth the organ of speech, and with it the god of fire, the deity who presides over that organ. Then a pair of nostrils appeared, and in them appeared the olfactory sense, as well as prana, the vital air.
Wow. In the wake of the olfactory sense came the wind god who presides over that sense. Thereafter, a pair of eyes appeared in the universal form, and in them the sense of sight. In the wake of this sense came the sun god who presides over it. Next, there appeared in him a pair of ears, and in them the auditory sense, and its wake, the devatas, or the deities who preside over the directions. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then the universal form of the Lord, the Virat Purusha, manifested his skin, and thereupon the hair, mustache, and beard appeared. After this, all the herbs and drugs became manifested, and then his genitals also appeared.
After this, the semen, the faculty of procreation, and the god who presides over the water appeared. Next appeared an anus, and then the organs of defecation, and thereupon the god of death, who was feared throughout the universe.
Which is kind of crazy that um, herbs and medicinal drugs come before genitals and anus
Yeah, interesting. Really
and
interesting.
semen.
I mean, is Devahūti sitting there like, what? You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
right? Hopefully, we hear her response after this. Thereafter, the two hands of the universal form of the Lord became manifested, and with them the power of grasping and dropping things. And after that, Lord Indra appeared. Next, the legs became manifested, and with them the process of movement. And after
Mhm.
that, Lord Vishnu appeared.
The veins of the universal body became manifested, and thereafter the red corpuscles or blood. In their wake came the rivers, the deities presiding over the veins, and then appeared an abdomen. Yeah, this is just another telling of the story of the
Yes.
creation. Yeah,
And something I think this why what's hitting me different now is because I have the understanding of reading this already before.
yeah,
So it's like actually clicking in my
yeah,
brain.
yeah,
Whereas the first time we read it, I remember being like, okay,
yeah.
uh, you know, and
Yeah.
this time it's really sinking into a deeper level of my consciousness.
Yeah.
Thank you, Srimad Bhagavatam.
Thank you.
Text 60. Next grew feelings of hunger and thirst, and in their wake came the manifestation of the oceans. Then a heart became manifest, and in the wake of the heart the mind appeared.
After the mind, the moon appeared. Intelligence appeared next, and after intelligence, Lord Brahma appeared. Then the false ego appeared, and then Lord Shiva. And after the appearance of Lord Shiva came consciousness, and the deity presiding over consciousness.
Wow, this is like
Wow.
I need like a picture of the egg and then all its
Right.
branches, like everything that came after one another.
Someone's
The
made a
mouth.
cartoon of this, an animation
Oh,
of this,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, you would think
You would
so, for
think.
sure.
Okay.
Text 62. When the demigods and presiding deities of the various senses were thus manifested, they wanted to wake their origin of appearance. But upon failing to do so, they re entered the body of the Virat Purusa, one after another, in order to wake him.
Wow. The god of fire entered his mouth with the organ of speech, but the Virat Purusa could not be aroused. Then the god of wind entered his nostrils with the sense of smell, but still the Virat Purusa refused to be awakened.
The sun god entered the eyes of the Virat Purusa with the sense of sight, but still the Virat Purusa did not get up. Similarly, the predominating deities of the directions entered through his ears with the sense of hearing, but still he did not get up.
The predominating deities of the skin, herbs, and seasoning plants entered the skin of the Virat Purusa with the hair of the body, but the cosmic being refused to get up even then. The god predominating over water entered his organ of generation with the faculty of procreation, but the Virat Purusa still would not rise.
The god of death entered his anus with the organ of defecation, but the Virat Purusa could not be spurred to activity. The god Indra entered the hands with their power of grasping and dropping things, but the Virat Purusa would not get up even then.
Wow. Lord Vishnu entered his feet with the faculty of locomotion, but the Virat Purusa refused to stand up even then. The rivers entered his blood vessels with the blood and the power of circulation, but still the cosmic being could not be made to stir.
The ocean entered his abdomen with hunger and thirst, but the cosmic being refused to rise even then. The moon god entered his heart with the mind, but the cosmic being would not be aroused.
Brahma also entered his heart with intelligence, but even then, the cosmic being could not be prevailed upon to get up. Lord Rudra also entered his heart with ego, but even then, the cosmic being did not stir.
However, when the inner controller, the deity presiding over consciousness,
Mhm.
entered the heart with reason, at that very moment the cosmic being arose from the causal waters.
Beautiful. When a man is sleeping, all his material assets, namely the vital energy, the senses for recording knowledge, the senses for working, the mind, and the intelligence, cannot arouse him. He can be aroused only when the super soul helps him. Yeah, it's true.
Therefore, through devotion, detachment, and advancement in spiritual knowledge acquired through those concentrated devotional service, one should contemplate that super soul as present in this very body, although simultaneously apart from it.
Wow. And that is the end of chapter 26, Canto 3, Srimad Bhagavatam, Fundamental Principles of Material Nature. Wow. 72 text slokas in that.
Wow.
That was a big chapter.
Yeah,
That
and
was
you want to
pretty
know what
mind-blowing.
chapter 27 is? Understanding material
Okay,
nature.
Kapila. Okay. All right,
So we
Kapila.
that was the fundamental principles of material nature, and now he
Like
told us the fundamentals. Now he's going to help us understand them next time.
right. Because Devahūti's just like looking at him with these giant eyes, like, what did you just say?
That's how I feel.
Like what? Wow, I can't even I was like almost looking forward
I
when we
know.
close up.
I know. Yeah. Wow.
Wow. Okay. Well, I'm gonna need a week to think about that.
Let's integrate that.
Let's
Let's hear
integrate
from
that in.
everybody else. What do you think? What are your thoughts? You kind of heard ours along the way.
Hmm. I mean, I've been thinking a lot lately about how if I'm somewhere I don't want to be, or if I'm having an experience I don't want to have, I can close my eyes and remind myself I'm in the illusion. This is
Yeah.
Maya. And I put
Yeah.
myself somewhere else. And I was saying that to you earlier
Mm-hmm.
about how um I was one place, but I closed my eyes and I went somewhere else and I was there. I felt it. And it was like the idea of going into meditation and you kind of go somewhere else. It almost feels like you can feel it.
Yeah.
You can put yourself totally there and give your own self the input to
Yeah.
say, I'm on a I'm on my deck
Yeah.
laying in the sun right now, even if I'm really not. And I think that that's a gift that we have about being in the illusion is that, especially when we're told we know it's illusion.
My God, that was so much information.
Yeah.
That broke it down really well. Kapila, good job.
Okay.
Good job, Kapila. I'm really excited for him to help us understand it next time.
Yeah.
He was
All
just
right.
breaking it down real quick. Now he's going to be like, all right, remember what I said about the fire in the eyes? Well,
We're going to have to read it again.
yeah. Yeah. Read
All
that
right.
chapter again before we come over to the next one.
Yes. Okay, dear
That's our
friends.
homework.
Thank you so much for listening and watching and staying with us. If you're still here at the very end of our
We love
video,
you.
we love
We
you.
love
We
you.
appreciate you. Love and healings and blessings to you. And Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
We'll see
Until
you
next
time.
time.
Hey, okay.
My gosh, Mom.
Not so.